All right, my friends, it's going to be a short video today, I think. Pretty sure short video, because just the other day we talked about or put out a little quick Canon Rumors video in regards to the M50 and some of our hopes in regards to some of the specs that would be coming out, and if we thought it would be coming out before the end of 2020. So it looks like over on Canon Rumors today, they are actually saying that they have a list of actual specs. So this isn't all the specs, but it does give us an idea, and hopefully gives those of us that were possibly interested in either upgrading our M50 to an M50 Mark II, or we're just trying to possibly get into the M series of cameras. This will give us an idea if this camera actually is something that we want to save our pennies for, just to see if it's something that's going to actually fit our needs. So there are a couple of specs that I was really excited for, and we'll just take a look right over here. We got it loaded up. So here's Canon Rumors. So a few things here. Right off the bat, we are definitely getting way more resolution. So we're looking at 32.5 megapixel, and this is up from the 24 megapixel of the original M50. So that's a nice increase, and actually puts us up higher than even the Canon R, I believe. I think the R is only 30, so this gets us into 32.5. So if you're looking at this as a photography camera, that's a significant upgrade. We're also looking at getting the Digic X, Digic 10, I'm not sure how they pronounce it, but same kind of processor that looks like it's in the 1D Mark III, as well as the R6 and R5. Now it does say here that this may be a new version, could also be a modified version. That we'll have to see as we get closer to some kind of official release or announcement from Canon. Dual pixel autofocus 2, so the same dual pixel autofocus that is in the R6 and R5. So that's fantastic. 14 frames per second. So not as fast as the R6 or R5, where they, I believe, burst into that 20, but nothing wrong with 14. 14 is nice and fast. 4K 60 no crop. 4K 60 no crop. This is what I was looking for. I wasn't expecting 120 because that's not even something available on the actual R6. You're only seeing that on the R5. So 4K 60 though, no crop. Big issue here, and really the concern, of course, is with this Digic 10 Digic X processor, will we see any overheating issues? So that's to be seen when we actually hopefully get a hold of this camera and can put it through some tests. But the hope is that no overheating. The M50 didn't, and it can still shoot at least some 4K with no overheating. So we'll see. Hopefully it's not something to do with the Digic 10 processor. No IBIS. So if you're looking at an M series camera with IBIS, that's not happening. Looks like we're just going to be left with the IS out of the lenses, which is still good, but would have been nice to see that. But I see them not wanting to especially cannibalize the R6 market, because if this comes out in that $1,000 range, even under that $1,500 range, something like this would have, I think, too many features that R6 users may be like, oh, I'll just get the M50 Mark II because I don't need full frame, and this is going to give me that 4K with that new dual pixel autofocus, and it's good. Even for me, as much as I love the IBIS, because my cameras primarily, like right now, are tripod mounted, IBIS really doesn't matter. IS really doesn't matter too much. It only is going to come into effect out there in the vlogging world, and that can be a little bit of an issue, as the M50 was such a big vlogging camera for Canon. So interesting to see where that goes. Similar EVF resolution as the R6, and I have an R6, not what I'm shooting on right now, but I do have an R6, and the EVF is fine. I'm very happy with it. And single card slot. That was actually to be expected. I didn't think that they would go dual. For one, the body's fairly small, as well as, again, I can't see them wanting to cannibalize this and make the M50 into a pro camera. Not by any means. I think still a consumer camera, which I hope is reflected in the price when that ever gets announced. And still single, that's plenty fine. My Canon RP, which is what I'm shooting in right now, single. My M50, of course, single. Nothing, it's fine. A lot of people, even in the pro world, shoot with single. I get why dual is nice, and if they could have added it, cool. But if this is something that helps keep the price point down, then I'm all over it. All right, my friends, there you go. There's some specs. And they talk about the specs here not wanting to cannibalize the M6 Mark II sales. And I definitely get that. But I didn't see where the M50 and the original M6, they didn't cannibalize each other. I think more people went for the M50. So it'll be interesting to see if even there's any overflow into if there's any kind of RF APS-C sensor-based camera coming out in the future. Something that's definitely not an M series because it's going to be RF-based, which I'd like to see. And I'm wondering if they are going to hold back any of the APS-C RF-based cameras to let the M series kind of run its course, because I think if you were to release, especially for me, a little more budget-friendly RF camera that could shoot 4K, let's say an RP Mark II, and there was a lot of rumors out there that were talking about the possibility of an R7, so something that the 7D would kind of migrate into. I can see Canon not wanting to have those two cameras kind of competing with each other. Even if an R7, and there's no real rumors of an R7, but if there was an R7 that was in that same price point as the 7D came out, with similar specs, I'd without question go to that one because of the RF glass and the ability for me to move RF glass around between all the new R series. M series is great, but as a lot of rumors have talked about, where is that M series going? And I don't know. But this specs, if it's priced at a reasonable price point, could still be a real winner, I think. Anyways, I'm going to leave you there. What are your thoughts? M50 Mark II, what do you think of these specs? Good enough? Good enough of an upgrade from your M50? Or if you're looking at just a new replacement camera, would these specs entice you enough to get back into the M series with Canon? All right, guys, I'm going to leave you there. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know down below. Comment away. Later, guys.